For years, Apple has been trying to break into the automotive space, from trying to acquire Tesla way back in 2013 to endlessly working on their own electric vehicle. After all of this time, it actually looks like the Apple car is finally taking shape, as rumors are suggesting a release between 2024 and 2028. But considering the tremendous progress from Tesla, Neo, and Rivian, it seems like Apple's entrance into the EV market will end up like Microsoft's entrance into smartphones. However, here's why you shouldn't underestimate the Apple car. Starting off, we have to keep in mind that Apple is by no means trying to overtake major automakers. They're not trying to become the next Tesla or the next Mercedes or anything like that. All they're trying to do is carve out a niche portion of the luxury car buying market. With that being said, let's jump into their first advantage, which is their brand. Apple likely has the strongest branding and customer loyalty in the world. As a result, like Tesla, Apple will not have to spend very much money on marketing the Apple car. Even today, the Apple car is years out, but major news sources are spending so much money and resources covering Apple car rumors, leaks, and features. Imagine when the Apple car actually comes out. The entire press will be all over it. And don't forget about their own keynote. The keynote will likely end up trending on YouTube, and it will get pushed all throughout social media. Considering this, Apple doesn't have to worry about informing customers about the car. This, however, is not the case with competitors like Lucid, Rivian, and Fuel Cell. Aside from a massive marketing reach, Apple also has extremely deep pockets. As of January, Apple is holding $195.57 billion in cash, so they can easily afford to fully develop their self-driving technology before releasing it to the public. While Tesla's autopilot software is awesome, it definitely has its issues, and that's to be expected as it's just beta software. Apple, however, will refuse to launch self-driving software until they get it nearly perfect, and they can afford to do this as well. Something else to keep in mind is that Apple has access to the best talent in the world, just like Tesla. Not only is Apple an extremely desirable company to work for many, but they also pay exuberant amounts of money. For instance, software engineers at Apple earn between $170,000 and $681,000 per year in total compensation. This isn't to say that the work these individuals do is worth this amount of money per se. Rather, rich tech companies like Apple, Google, and Facebook love to offer salaries that are far above the industry standard. This way, they can attract the best employees possible and subsequently set super high expectations for their employees to meet. With that being said, Apple won't have trouble hiring the best AI and machine learning developers out there. In fact, they'll probably learn a lot from Tesla, as they have been doing over the past several years. As a result, it's very likely that Apple will offer a super refined autonomous car from day one. After all, their company motto is, "It just works." I suspect that many luxury consumers will appreciate this refined offering and will choose the Apple car over the competition for this reason. Moving on, another major advantage that only Apple has is their ecosystem. The Apple ecosystem is one of the most popular in the world. Many people own iPhones, Apple Watches, AirPods, and MacBooks because these devices work together so well. Most modern cars do support Apple CarPlay, but I'm sure the infotainment system that's included with the Apple car will be multiples ahead of CarPlay. We might even see Apple create a brand new software suite for the Apple car with its own app store and everything. This might allow users to play games and watch YouTube videos while their car is charging. Also, people in the Apple ecosystem not only own a bunch of Apple products, but they're often also subscribed to many of Apple's services, from Apple Music and Apple TV to iCloud and Apple Arcade. I'm quite certain that Apple is going to nail the integration between the Apple car and their various devices and services. As a result, many will be willing to pay the Apple tax just for the better seamless experience. Take AirPods for instance. Wireless headphones aren't exactly revolutionary, and you can get similar sound quality from wireless headphones that are nearly half the price. However, AirPods are by far the most popular choice because 1, they're fashionable and they're from Apple, and 2, they work so well with Apple devices. This same principle will likely draw tens of thousands of customers to the Apple car every year. Along the lines of the Apple ecosystem, we also have Apple's design language. One of the main reasons that many Tesla owners love their Teslas is because of the clean, modern interior design. The design language of Tesla is often compared to Apple, and it's very possible that Tesla really was inspired by Apple in terms of design. But what happens when Apple themselves enter the car market? At that point, we would get authentic Apple design in cars, which may attract many. Next up, we have manufacturing. One of the hardest parts of growing an EV business is scaling up manufacturing. But Apple isn't going to be manufacturing their cars themselves. Instead, they're going to be relying on an actual automaker to manufacture their cars. There were rumors that Apple was going to team up with Hyundai, which is a questionable move, but that rumor has since fallen apart. Since then, we also saw rumors that Apple was working with Nissan, but these two have fizzled out. Ideally, I think Apple should work with a German manufacturer like Mercedes or BMW to stay in line with their branding. But whoever they choose to work with, one thing that's clear is that Apple is not going to be manufacturing themselves. So they can easily cut past most of the significant challenges involved with scaling EV manufacturing. Moreover, as we discussed at the beginning, Apple is simply looking to be a niche player. So I don't think they're looking to make more than a few 100,000 cars per year. Maybe they'll eventually get to 1 or 2 million cars annually, but they're by no means aiming for tens of millions of cars per year. Thus, they shouldn't have too many scaling problems to begin with. Anyways, another reason you shouldn't underestimate the Apple car is because Apple themselves is taking it extremely seriously. Apple Insider has reported that Apple has over 1,000 people working on the car. This includes key players like Nvidia's former AI leaders and Tesla's former vice presidents. It even seems like Johnny Ive has played a significant role in the project before he left Apple. On top of this, Apple has also been making several large land purchases, which is assumed to be for autonomous software testing. In the end, all of the advantages we have discussed so far indicates that Apple will be coming out with a super refined car that is quite practical. This is great and all, but there is one more major opportunity that Apple is likely looking to take full advantage of, which is a void in the luxury EV/AV market. You see, Tesla is looking to exit the consumer car market as soon as they're able to get their self-driving technology approved by the government for robotaxi use. This doesn't mean that Tesla is going to go bankrupt or die. Rather, Tesla has bigger fish to fry, and that is what they'll be focusing on. Selling a car might lead to a profit of $5,000 or $10,000, which is great. By putting a Tesla in the robotaxi network, on the other hand, Tesla is expected to pull in gross profit of $30,000 every single year. As you can see, it makes much more financial sense for Tesla to shift to owning the cars they produce as opposed to selling them. Elon Musk has confirmed that consumers will still be able to buy a Tesla, but it will be much more expensive, as in over $100,000 more expensive. As a result, a mid-level Tesla Model S, which is likely the closest to the Apple car, will go from costing $70,000 to $80,000 to $170,000 to $180,000. And this is precisely what Apple is targeting. Originally, rumors suggested that Apple was looking to get into the robotaxi market as well. But now, rumors are suggesting that Apple is targeting private use. This is a very intelligent decision, as it doesn't make any sense for Apple to compete head-on with Tesla in the robotaxi market. They simply don't have the manufacturing capability or low enough prices. Targeting what Tesla is leaving behind, however, is very feasible. Given the popularity of ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft, I'm sure Tesla can be very successful in the robotaxi market. But robotaxis aren't for everyone. Many people will still want to own their own car for a variety of reasons. At the same time though, whether they're a Model 3 and Y customer or a Model S and X customer, they're not going to want to shell out an extra $100,000 to get a Tesla. So, what are they going to do? They're of course going to look for alternatives. Average consumers will likely flock over to offerings from up-and-coming EV companies, as well as potential offerings from legacy automakers like Toyota. But what about luxury buyers? Well, some might check out offerings from Audi and Mercedes. However, in this scenario, a $75,000 Apple car seems like the perfect choice for these customers. And I think this is where Apple can really win in the car market. At the end of the day, while it may seem like Apple is entering the EV/AV space late, we have to keep in mind that the automotive industry is massive and that there are no dominating players in the market. Even Toyota only controls a mere 10.24% of the industry, and everyone else only controls single-digit percentages. So it's not like the e-commerce space where one company controls 50% or anything like that. On top of this, the automotive industry is currently undergoing a radical shift towards electric and autonomous vehicles. This, combined with Tesla's eventual shift to the robotaxi market, gives Apple the perfect opportunity to grow a niche, profitable automotive business. Do you guys agree? Comment that down below. Also, drop a like if you guys are excited for competition in the AV space. And of course, consider joining our Discord community to suggest future video ideas, and consider subscribing to see more questions logically answered. But until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.